Good afternoon. We can now start the press conference. And my name is Marcello Albanese, and I am responsible for sales of Navionics in EMEA and APAC region, and I'm also managing the contracts with the marine electronics manufacturer. This is a press conference that has been organized in view of the upcoming METS that is going to be next week in Amsterdam. The title of this press conference is Smart and Wireless Today is Easy. And with this press conference, we would like to share with you the vision of Navionics for the use of the electronic equipments on the boat and also out of the boats, and the current achievement that Navionics has done in recent times, and also some news on future implementation that will be soon available for the customers. This press event is addressed primarily to the press, but also to the resellers, so our partner distributors and dealers, and also to our, let's say, partner in marine electronics. And now I'm happy to invite the president of the company, Giuseppe Carnevali, that will give his presentation. Thanks, Giuseppe. Just before your start, I will give you some little rules how to make this more interactive. You know that in your screen, you have some tools where you can send questions to us. All the questions will be recorded and will be answered after the webinar. However, you can also, at the end of the presentation of Giuseppe Carnevali, you will be able to place, if you want, questions in audio video. Now, for the experience, we know that for bandwidth problems, sometimes video problem, this may not be possible, so we will try. And in any case, you can send us the question, and as I said, we will reply just after this press conference. Now, I think we can start really with the presentation of Giuseppe, and we can go on with this press event.
Hello. Okay, I was waiting for the image to switch. Good morning to the friends from the US. Good afternoon for those from Europe, and I guess good night to those that are watching us from the Far East and Australia. So let's see the presentation that I have prepared for you. We should be sharing screens pretty soon. Okay, there's a slight delay now starting. Well, there's many things new. To begin with, let me see if I can get this to roll. It is not going. Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about the media morphosis, which is a very interesting innovation in technology that is changing our life. To begin with, it makes it possible for this webinar to have a lot of participants from all over the world. Actually, right now we have about 10 times the number of people that we normally have at our press conferences. So a big audience. And of course, this makes it possible for people to participate in the comfort of their home and not necessarily in a formal environment. So what is the media morphosis? Whenever there's a change of media, like it has happened from theater to cinema to TV to internet and now to smartphones, typically we continue to do whatever we did with the old media, we just replicated in the new media. So this has happened for friends from the press know that the first online newspapers or magazines were just a photocopy of a PDF of the printed version, but that doesn't really work. Now things have evolved to something much better. Same is happening to the nautical chart. started as a paper chart, then the electronic version of the paper chart, which was a raster or a very elementary vector. Then we started doing navigation on it. Now we have community, ubiquity, location-based services, and a lot more. So what does this mean in terms of Navionics? Well, there are three things that I want to talk about today, or four. One is the APIs, which means the possibility of using our chart viewer on your website. The second one is how the so-called Internet of Things, which means connecting objects, virtual things, not just people, to the internet, is making it possible to have Sonar Chart live, and from there the seamless Sonar Chart, and what comes from better cartography, essentially. Background updates, which are very important to enable people to enjoy our latest and greatest charts, both on mobile and on plotters through a synchronization. And the big new thing, which is the doc-to-doc auto routing. But let's see one at a time. First of all, the new generation of APIs. Essentially, this is like the Google Maps of the seas. Most websites that are relevant to the boating industry are using Google Maps right now. But they now can use, with a few minutes worth of work, our website instead, and display nautical charts in them. And this has proven to increase the traffic by a lot. So you can increase your traffic by a lot. Right now we have roughly 500 active websites and another 500 that are installing it. And we have seen a 45% traffic increase. These are some of the testimonials of some of the websites that are using our viewer. So Internet of Things, which produce a Sonar Chart live, and from there the seamless Sonar Chart. Internet of Things means I can connect a pen through the internet. Nowadays you can buy a toothbrush that is connected to the internet, so you can check whether your children are brushing their teeth every day properly and in the right amount, or you can connect your refrigerator or pretty much anything. By connecting all sorts of devices, Wi-Fi enabled devices, to our app, we can display their data in the app, but also collect the data, and without requiring any action by the user, they can upload the data to the server, and from there we produce a Sonar Chart. So we'll see this. And this feature was a winner of the Innovation Award in Miami at the beginning of the year. So we began this year actually with an Innovation Award for this feature. Since it's quite new, I will show it to you again. And this is the Sonar Chart Live. Essentially, we have a sonar connected to the app. What you're looking at is the actual application that can be used. As you see, as the boat moves around, the contours are recalculated, and sometimes the contours pretty much coincide, as you can see in some places, with the existing ones, but in others they're quite different. And here you can see a spike in the bottom, which corresponds to a rock, probably, that has been detected properly by the Sonar Chart Live. So this is an example of what we call the snakes. So it's one track where we have done the Sonar Chart Live. It's overlaid with the rest. We have had, as you see here, a black spot with a false reading. So that has created a big hole where, in fact, there is no hole. But if we then combine a lot of data from many sources, and Navionics is the only independent company that can really collect data from a large crowd from all sorts of devices from pretty much all manufacturers, then we can improve the chart by a lot. So this is the difference between the single track that we call the snake and the aggregation of many, many tracks. As you can see on the right side, it is quite an impressive chart, particularly if we compare that to the official chart. This is showing a river, actually, the river where I keep my boat. The mission of the hydrographic offices is to serve primarily the Navy and secondarily the commercial shipping market. It is not part of their mission to support and help the recreational boating. They're very happy when recreational boaters can use the hydrographic office products, but that is not part of their mission. Just like it is not part of their mission to serve, say, the oil industry or the telephone industry. So if some telephone company wants to pull a telephone cable on the bottom of the sea and the hydrographic office charts are not good enough, that is really not a criticism to the hydrographic office, because that is not their mission. Their mission is to provide navigation charts for the shipping market. But ships don't go up into marinas. Destroyers and aircraft carriers do not go into marinas. In fact, the hydrographic office charts are made to keep those ships away from the places where we go. So we make charts that are specifically designed for the use of the recreational market. And you can see here on the right the fact that the deep water has a sort of an S shape. And this is very important because I go there every day when I go boating myself. And before I created this chart by combining my own tracks with that of many other users, I used to always go through this pond, this part of the river, in a straight line. And invariably, at the end of the year, every year, I had to get my propellers repaired because I invariably touched the bottom. Since I was able to use the sonar chart, I found out that I could actually do a sort of an S-shaped route. And now, in the last 2 years, I have not been able, I have not needed to get my propellers repaired. So this is a very, very important improvement. And this is what we got the Innovation Award for in Miami. So there is, however, a global concern because less than 10% of the world's seas have been charted to the same resolution as Mars and the Moon. And there's only one hydrographic office that has, let's say, come out with critical information. This is the Norwegian Hydrographic Office, who said that they estimate that 35,000 rocks in their waters are not charted. What does this mean is very important because you may remember that I showed this video in earlier occasions. This is what happens when there's a rock not charted or the proper chart is not being used. Quite scary for those of us who go boating quite a bit. We probably have gone through this experience. But if we look at the Navionics chart for this area, here on the left, you have the official hydrographic office chart. On the right, you have the Navionics chart with the two rocks reported by way of crowdsourcing. Those actually were found and charted by our customers. And it's interesting to see what they report. If you click on that particular object, what they report, one of them says that he actually dove on this spot, found the rock to be about 1.8 to 2 meters deep, and he could see some visible marks of things that hit those rocks, probably paint chips and stuff like that. So those are for real. And our charts with crowdsourcing can make a huge difference. As a matter of fact, we have now a cooperation going on with the Norwegian Hydrographic Office. They said, we'll take any help to chart those 35,000 rocks, which are uncharted. And so they advertise this initiative on their website, and we provide them the data that is collected by the crowd. Of course, they verify the data before they publish it in an official chart. But this is likely to shorten the time in which that it takes to chart all those rocks by a lot. We figure that probably this will be done 10 times faster than if was done with traditional means. So this means that we now produce about 2,000 updates per day, and we also publish all the cartography every day, and that the upload of sonar logs has actually grown 400% compared to last year. We're now at a point where every day we collect as much data about the depth as an average hydrographic office collects in 3 years. Of course, there's a big difference between the crowdsourced data and the professionally sourced data, which is done with professional instruments and professional people. But what makes the difference is also the mass of data. If we have a large amount of data, even if it is all wrong, we can, through some advanced mathematics, not just an average, but we can determine what is the correct depth in a very accurate way. Actually, as accurate, if not sometimes more accurate, than done with a single reading and a professional instrument. So what does this mean? It means that you really need to update your charts. People like to say that rocks don't move, so you don't really need to update your charts. But the fact is, as I have shown an example here, that charts do move, and rocks that were not reported get reported, or that were reported in the wrong place are now reported in the right place. So updating the charts is very, very important, very valuable. And now those updates, this is another innovation brought by Navionics, those updates can happen in the background, which means that you don't need to do anything, it just happens. You just subscribe to the updates, and the updates happen automatically. It is still possible to do the updates through a chip by bringing it into a computer, but it is also possible now with Raymarine to do it through a plotter sync. Essentially, you walk on the boat, the mobile device with our app connects to the plotter via Wi-Fi and downloads the updates into the plotter without requiring any action by the user. It's really, really nice, and this is one more innovation by Navionics. So what is new this year? Besides the things that I said, we won the Innovation Award at the beginning of the year in Miami with the Sonar Chart Live and the Seamless Sonar Chart. We added onto that during the summer the background updates. And what is new now today? Well, the Mediamorphosis has made it possible, as we have seen, to make better charts. And with better charts, we and a sprinkle of some more technology and innovation, we're now able to do a dock-to-dock auto-routing, which is available on iOS and soon also on Raymarine. Dock-to-dock auto-routing means that you can actually go not the same way as, by the way, this dock-to-dock auto-routing has been nominated for the Innovation Award at the DAME at Metz. So we will see in a week whether or not we win an Innovation Award. That just being nominated, of course, is a great honor. This means that we're now able to automatically calculate a route through narrow waters. We take into account the speed limits, which means we are able to provide a very accurate estimation of estimated time of arrival. And there's also a sort of around me type of location-based services that show what services are available at the end. I'll show you a very simple example. So this is the auto routing as was known until now. Unable to go through channels and narrow waters. This is an example of Cape Cod, and we are. I did an auto route, but was unable to find its place through the canal, so went around a very, very long, essentially unusable. This is what we're doing now. By selecting the same start and end points, we're actually going through the canal and seeing the services at the end. So anyway, more than words, it is better to see a live demo. So I will share my screen with the app. Now it takes just a moment for this to happen. Okay, here we go. So this is Cape Cod, the same area that we saw earlier. And I am located here where you see the symbol of the GPS. And if I say I want to go a route, automatic route, I click the GPS icon to say I want to start from the current position and go to, I don't know, some, say, search for a marina. So I click on the marina symbol. And so I now have all the marinas in the area. I pick one. And by the way, of all those marinas, I have the VHF, those that have a VHF channel, but I have the phone number of all of them. So let me pick one, say Taylor Marina, or I don't want to call them. I just want to go to the marina. So the app now is calculating the route in what you have seen to be a very complex area. And it has found the services at the end. And if I click go, you can see that, well, I am at the office, at the Navionics office, so I couldn't go by boat immediately from where I am, but it has found the nearest place on the water, and then has found the way through the canals in very narrow waters, all the way to the end. And at the end, I have the list of services available. So I have 10 marine within a short range. I can expand and see the marinas and moorings. For each marina that has a VHF, I can see the VHF channel, or I can make a phone call. I can find the restaurants that I can go to by boat or within walking distance, again, with a phone number where available. Shops, dealers, tides and currents, and so forth. For example, where can I do provisioning, et cetera, et cetera. So I now, of course, I'm not on the boat. I cannot see the speed limits, but I can show you a short video that gives an example of that. This is what you would see if you were on a boat with a speed limit.
Auto routing will even let you know if you exceed the speed limit, which is really helpful in places where they might change by day, time, or season. And of course, when you're boating in and out of your marina or heading through high traffic areas. Uh-oh, you better slow down.
So you see that we have a speed limit in our database. When you are exceeding the speed limit, this is highlighted in red. And the speed limit, in this case, is just no wake. So no wake is considered to be 4 knots. In some other places, there's a specific number. You will see what the speed limit is in this red dot. And when you're exceeding it, it will be shown in red. But not only that, also the maximum speed, like if your boat does 20 knots, but you're going through a speed limit zone, will calculate your estimated time of arrival, taking that into consideration. So summarizing, mediamorphosis means that we can now do things with a chart that were not possible before, and we can marry together, create a seamless experience between mobile and plotter. Of course, plotter continues to be essential because it is waterproof, it is visible in the sun, can withstand high temperatures, does not have a problem with the battery life, etc., etc. But you cannot take it with you. It's not with you anytime, anywhere. So this is what allows you to enjoy your boat on the boat and off the boat. Better charts plus a sprinkle of innovation make it possible to do dock-to-dock auto routing, which is quite amazing. We can do background updates, so the updates get pushed automatically into the app and from the app to the plotter by way of the plotter sync. We also have the new APIs, which are designed for resellers and publishers. Whether you are a dealer, a distributor, a boat charter, or a magazine, whenever you need a geographical reference, instead of using Google, you can use Navionics and you will have a nautical chart. There are some restrictions, they only apply to a few countries. Denmark does not allow that to happen. Hong Kong does not allow, and there's a few others. Those are clearly marked on the display. But other than those, in the rest of the world, you can use it, and it's for free. So all of this makes it easy and enjoyable. And I hope that by now you found it easy and enjoyable to be not in this situation. And I hope to see you all at MET next week at our booth, where you will be able to try all these things hands-on, including the auto routing and so forth. And we wait for you there. So we are open now to questions. Do we have any questions?
Thank you, Giuseppe. And I can say that from the numbers of the participants, this has been very successful. I remember last year in METS, we had a very good press events during the METS, but the press event now has been really as much, if not more successful in terms of participants. I've got, while you were giving the presentation, a question of Nico Kavalev, who is from Scandinavia and is one of our national distributor, that is asking, is dock-to-dock auto-routing using the preferred boating lanes found, for example, in the Scandinavian waters, or does it just use free water? This is the first question, and I hand over to you.
Yeah, we do use the officially recommended routes wherever they're available. For example, in the United States, there's the Intracoastal Waterway that runs from Florida all the way to Canada. but it has not been maintained by the Hydrographic Office in many years. So in some places it is not accurate. Actually, if you follow it, you are going to run aground. But we have updated it, so we are maintaining it. As a matter of fact, the Hydrographic Office at one point announced that they were officially discontinuing it. So we maintain it, but we use it wherever possible. In Scandinavia, there's a lot of recommended routes, and we snap onto them wherever possible. When not possible, we use our algorithm, which is very sophisticated and can actually find its way, as you have seen in the example, through very narrow waters, even when the channel sometimes is not properly marked, meaning that instead of having pairs of buoys, may have only buoys on one side, or the buoys may be staggered and so forth. I also see a question from our friend Corradino Corbov. This is in Italian, so I will translate in real time. Says, why is Raymarine up to now the only company that supports all this innovation, and what is the reason why the others are not? Well, what we do is our policy is that we create innovation and we make it available to anybody that wants to use it. It is then a matter of choice by the manufacturers. Raymarine has been more receptive, and so they're first to market with these things. Other companies may have other priorities, other products that they're developing, and so they decided that they might do it at another time. Let's see if we have other questions. Thank you for the seminar. Are there plans to add plotted sync, for example, to Navico products? Again, this is we make a technology available. It is up to Navico to decide. You would need to ask them directly. In fact, why not? Make sure that they hear you, and they hear that the market wants it. What about Garmin integration? Again, it's a choice we make ourselves available. It is up to the manufacturers to decide whether or not they want to do it. But we have made, as everybody knows, charts in Garmin format, but then Garmin did not like it, so they created some kind of a lock. Again, there has been a lot of noise in the blogosphere about people complaining for that. It's up to you, you meaning the market, to make yourself heard and bring the message to Garmin. Nico Kavelf, thank you. See you at Metz. Ben Ellison, hello, Ben. I've used the Sonar Chart Live with Vexilar and with Navico Go Free. It just works without setup complications. That's great, but I cannot set up other Wi-Fi and MEA data sources because the Navionics app does allow me to specify an IP address and port. Have you considered adding the feature? I scratch my head. It's a little complicated technically, but let's say our goal is to support as everybody, so every source. If we don't have this yet, we certainly will have it. And I guess offline I will get a little more information. Anyway, Ben, Sean is next to me, and he's taking care of that. Is already looking at it. Corradino Corbo, when will we have an aviation app? We do have one. We haven't published it yet. It is coming. It is very close. We want to make sure that it works properly. But as a lot of people know, I am also a pilot, both fixed wing and helicopter. And I think that the experience of navigating on an airplane, and even more so on a helicopter, which is so critical. Meaning that I don't have any time to distract myself, forces us to develop a user interface that is extremely simple. We cannot, again, when you're running at that speed and you must take care of what you're doing, you don't have time to look at a manual or to try to understand how the app works. So it's a testbed technology for user interface and user experience, extremely useful. So so far we've used it with that purpose, but very soon. Also because almost all pilots are also boaters. There's a big overlap. Just like about 70% of boaters are also skiers, and that's why we also have a ski app. So
Giuseppe, we have further questions that may be interesting for everybody, and we have plenty of them. But for example, they want to get a copy of the presentation. Just want to inform that this press event is registered and will be soon available, maximum a couple of days, on the YouTube channel of Navionics. So this is one thing. You may also require a copy PDF of the presentation to us if you like. Just type on the question and answer, and that will be answered directly to your email with a copy of the presentation. And there is another question coming through the chat, and web API. How can I get the web API? We have a large boating website, and we would like to add. We encourage you doing this. Basically, what you need to do, you go on the homepage of the navionics.com site, and on the bottom right end of the page, there is a link with the web API. The service is free. You need to register, and we will follow up. I guarantee that it's going to be very quick, the implementation. We had the cases of overnight implementation on a few sites. There is a journalist from Spain that wants about his presence here, and is asking about the presence of Navionics in Spain. Specifically, can it be better? If you don't mind, I can answer this one. As we all know, the European market have been a bit diving in the last, let's say, 7-8 years. I have seen the boating market and the accessory market in Spain, at least from our point of view, has been growing significantly, both in sailing, motorboating, and also in fishing in the past 2 years. And is a quite strong growing path. So our commitment in the Spanish market is very strong. We are going to invest more to stay in the Spanish market. And I see more questions here. Let me see. And the one question for Giuseppe is, you need to buy both app and suitable plotter cartridge. When will it be possible to feed the plotter only through buying an app coverage? This is from Niels Knorr in Hansenautic in Germany, who is one very important top dealer of Navionics in Germany. This is for you, Giuseppe.
The answer is I don't know right now, but I think that what is really important is to be able to update easily and provide the customer with many choices. I think that the help of a dealer and the chip and all those things will continue to be forever. I don't see an end to that. But the dealer will be able to provide a better service by taking advantage of all the technology that we make available. I honestly do not remember, so I don't have the information, but probably Niels has been one of the early adopters of our system many, many years ago when we could download the data from a CD to a cartridge at the time through a complicated, today, by today's standard, I would say, complicated system, which initially was considered a bit of a threat by the dealers, and there was quite a bit of resistance initially about using it because it was just a little, how can I say, a little bit groundbreaking and intimidating to some. But then when some people started using it, then everybody else wanted to use it because they could see that it was very working very well and improving their service to their customers. So this is a road that, as you can see from the presentation, we're following. I also see a question, again, can we have a copy of the presentation? Marcello has already responded. Gary Symes is asking about PC programs. This is a technical question. I don't think
We will follow up on that, but there is one more questions that I would like to address, and this is coming. Basically, is a remark from Randy Vance that says Navico uses Navionics and it's already possible to do this on their system. It's true. In part, you can use, for example, HDS Gen 3 or HDS Gen 2 together with the Wi-Fi module, and the Navionics app can be connected to the Navico devices and can have the Sonar Chat live on the app itself. This is, of course, good, very good for fishermen, but not only for that. Now, if we talk about synchronization of the data between the Navionics app and the Navico devices, we still need to develop those parts. For example, planning a route on your iPhone or iPad or any mobile and transferring when you are in the boat in the Navico system still is not possible, but we hope to have this possibility with Navico devices in the near future, as well as sending the updates of the nautical chart data and sonar chart data in real time. This is one remark that I wanted to comment coming from the chat line. There is also one remark that says from Turkey, there is a person saying that there is a new marina in Navionics Gold charts, but is not available. CMAP NT and is not available that marina. So I cannot comment on details on the competition, which we respect. I can also say that in line of what Giuseppe told before, we are updating the charts in real time and we make them available in real time. So this is the advantage of having our system, that whenever you want, you can really get the latest and greatest data from the internet, basically.
Yes, essentially, if there's a new marina, you can just put it on the map along with the details of phone number, VHF channel, services available, street address, etc. You can do it on the app, and within 5 minutes, all 4 million users of our app will have it in their chart. So it's essentially, I mean, 5 minutes is like real time. And they will all be able to see it, and they will all be able to say, I want to go to that marina, and the auto-routing function will automatically find the way to go there, as I have shown in my display. Now, what the competition does, of course, is what they do is
Yeah, there is another question about the dock-to-dock autorouting that was demonstrated during the press conference. And the question is that mandatory to use initial or endpoint within a marina, or is just a free use of starting and ending point? Up to you to answer.
No, it can be anywhere from anywhere. You can simply tap on the screen, and in fact, let me share the screen again and show you. Now I remove the route that I was doing before, and I can start a new one and say that I want to go from here, and I just tap and hold to here, tap and hold, and we'll see what happens. Then you can also search by name. Works kind of like an extended version of a car navigation system. So you see that it has found its way through the canal. But I can say that I want to go to, I don't know, say Falmouth. So I just type the name. I want to go to the Dock Harbor in Falmouth, and it has found it. And it will go from the starting point that in this case does not have a name, but only a set of coordinates. Could be an anchorage, could be a place that to a marina that I have found by name, or a location or another anchorage that I have found by name. So very flexible.
There is one more questions, and that is coming from Norway, from Rolf Fossumustuen, and I apologize for the bad pronunciation. But is asking if the chart data from the Norwegian Hydrographic Office are now transferred to you, so are able to dump the data from them in our chart database. I can answer, or if you want, Giuseppe.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a full licensing contract with the Norwegian Hydrographic Office, and we do have the capability of accessing both paper charts and digital data from the Norwegian Hydrographic Office. So, and in fact, we will run a major campaign during the spring to update the boaters in the area in Norway with the latest and greatest data from Norway. And I just remind that we cooperate, kind of cooperate with that hydrographic office with the Charter of Campaign since 2 years.
Yeah, there's another question here that I see from Niels Nor, who is similar to the previous one, and that is, yeah, great about the sonar charts, but what about notices to mariners? Well, we do use all notices to mariners on a daily basis. That's also why we republish our entire portfolio every day. So again, the importance of keeping the charts up to date, as a matter of fact, things like the auto-routing feature will not work unless the charts are maintained up to date for obvious reasons of safety. But yes, we do on a daily basis apply the notices to mariners, and on a daily basis republish the entire portfolio of Navionics charts. Another question here from Anonymous: are you plans to increase the media size since the amount of sonar data is increasing quite quickly? Yes.
Yes, I can answer this one. We are moving to bigger size cartridges, of course. This has been requested since basically 1 year now, because the introduction of sonar charts and the introduction of more details in the cartridge need to have a bigger chart size. You will find all of this detailed information in the brief that we will give during METS that we prepare with, for our resellers. So you will know exactly when we are moving on with bigger size cartridges and with which products.
There's one thing I could add, though, is that if you don't have enough memory you can now select to download only a smaller area with a rectangle, same way as is done on the mobile app. Because in some cases, like in North America, we have one single chart, which is all of US and all of Canada. It's huge. That means you have the right to access any data within any region, but you may not be interested in downloading that much, or the chip you have, which you want to update without needing to go out to buy a new one, may not have enough space in it. In this case, if you really only go, say, 50 to 100 miles away from a specific area, or you're on one coast and not the other, or you are on a state with lakes and not on another, you just download what you want. And therefore, the download is faster, the update is faster, and you anyway have all the cartography that you need in a smaller memory.
Yeah, there is another question on the chat, which may be interesting for you, Giuseppe, to answer. Is there a chance to get Denmark's charts on web app in future? And there's a question coming from Rainer Korn in Germany.
Well, the answer is you have to talk to the Danish authorities. As far as we are concerned, it's only a matter of flipping a switch and saying on. Right now, we are not allowed to do it. And it's up to the, again, not to the industry, but to the users to make their voice heard and convince the public authorities to do what the public wants.
Thank you. I guess we are over the time limit that we placed here. There are a lot of interesting questions. There have been a lot of interesting questions. I now invite you to come and visit our booth, and I can anticipate that we will have some good Italian food and wine for the booth itself when you can come over there. And again, I thank you all to attend this press events, and please, if you need, look at the presentation again and share the presentation. That will be in YouTube in a couple of days from now, and you will be advised about it because your names are recorded, and you will see a mailing to all the participants.
Marcello, I have a question for you, actually. Yeah. And that is because I see that more questions are coming in, and of course we don't want to hold too many people longer than we promised. But can they continue to add the questions on, or can they just email to you?
We need to receive by email when we close the press event. They need to send by email the questions. So I can send through the chat my email address, and if there are questions from you, you can use it. I will send right now through the chat to everybody.
Well, let me thank again everybody for participating. It's very interesting. We have, again, more than 10 times the number of people that we normally have at a press event. And I hope that this has been enjoyable, and I hope that you will enjoy the new breakthrough auto routing and the plotter sync and all the new things that Navionics continues to produce every year. So see you at METS.
Thank you.